Hi, my name is Linda Allen. I'm one of the paediatric physios for NHS Lanarkshire. Today I'm going to be looking at activities to help your child to move into standing. To move into the initial position, which is called high kneeling, if you just bring your child round onto their knees at a surface that they are then able to access an activity. A book or a jigsaw can be a nice activity at this level, at a small table or an activity cube. So you can just place your knees on either side, which helps to keep their legs together. You might need to have your hands at their hips to encourage their weight to come forward, and their hands on a surface so that they're beginning to lean and push through the table. This starts to begin to get their tummies active and their bottom active at the same time when they're up against gravity. In this position, you want them to be relatively active, so helping to move them from one side and reach across. If you stay too still in this position, your tummy can begin to switch off a little, and then the child might begin to sag, or alternatively, if their bottom isn't working very hard, they can start to lean back. In both of these positions, you start to just use one of the muscle groups, and what we're looking for at this point is for the tummy and the bottom to be working together, so it does help to keep the child quite active when they're in this position, encouraging them to be the ones to turn the page. And as you do that, you can bring them onto one knee, and then as they come back, onto the other knee. When your child becomes confident and able within this position, you can start to take your hands off a little bit more, come away from the child so that they're much more independent within that position of high kneeling. You then are going to want to begin to progress that so that they're much less of a base on the floor and that their balance is challenged a little bit more. So you're going to just help them bring one knee forward. You might have to keep your hand on their knee to keep that there, and my other hand is still on the child's hip, just to give them some extra security in that position to balance initially. When your child becomes more confident in this position, you can start to encourage them to take hands off, maybe reaching for a toy and getting them to reach out of their base of support and bringing it back to the activity. As that becomes quite easy for them, you're also wanting them to begin to take weight to the other side and reach across, and then in time reaching up with two hands. In normal movement, we use lots of diagonal movement. When we're walking, we don't tend to walk with the same arm and same leg moving. You naturally use lots of opposites. So it's useful to then start to get the child to use the abdominal muscles, the tummy muscles, in those diagonal movements. So from here, rather than shifting the weight to one side and reaching to the same side, you can then start to get the child to reach across the body and reaching up to get toys. Once they're comfortable with that, or to change to keep variety in what they're doing, that you can assist them to change leg. So just helping them to bring that leg down, you're going to shift the weight onto the leg that was already on the floor and just help them to move that leg down. To move the other leg up, as we started at the beginning with the weight shift, we're just going to shift the weight onto the right, keep that hand on the hip and just use your free hand to bring the left leg up into kneeling. If, as in this position where they look like they're going to sink back, you might just have to help the child to adjust by bringing that knee back a little and then encouraging all this time for them to continue to push with their hands to give them that extra support if it's still needed at this stage. This can be balls, bubbles, books, just anything fun that the child likes to do. Could be cars down a ramp or that kind of thing.